Welcome to this week's episode of 180 and 180. I'm Bill Wallace, and I want to talk to you a little bit about the idea of blessing, in particular with regards to fairness. Now, if you grew up in America, particularly if you grew up in America with siblings, you know all about fairness, especially in this season, right? Because Christmas would come, and you knew that you could look under the tree and count the number of presents, and there would be a fair and equal number. Am I right? Or at the very least, boy, if you could somehow track down all those receipts, you could show that everyone's gifts more or less added up to the same. We believe in fairness in America. We think that is absolutely central. We talk about that all the time. We teach that in school, and it is maddening for so many of us when things are unfair. And that can be one of the great challenges, actually, for a faith in God, for those people who are struggling with God, because oftentimes life seems unfair, and it seems like some people receive a blessing above and beyond what others might get. Why is my neighbor more blessed than me? Why is my sister more blessed than me? That just doesn't seem fair, God. Well, I think God's response to that would be to look at something he says pretty clearly, that there's actually free will in our world. And that's going to change all kinds of things. That sometimes the blessings that come in our life, sure, absolutely, initially come from God, but they come because we were able to do a really good job at our work with what we've been given. We were able to do really well in school with the brains that we've been given. All those things kind of start to play into that. God doesn't treat us like robots where he manipulates everything on some preset or preordained track. No, we've got a lot of agency in that. We do a lot in our own world that relates to both blessings and to fairness. And quite honestly, I'm not sure I want God to be entirely and completely fair, particularly when it comes to me, because if he were to do that, then I might not receive the greatest unfair blessing that I receive, and that is the gift of forgiveness. See, that's the thing. If God were just to treat us all fairly, he might not forgive everything that I have done, because to do so would mean he's forgiving me more than he is forgiving my neighbor or forgiving my sister. But God doesn't see it like that. God sees me in all those ledgers on my slate, all those marks, all those sins, all those mistakes. And he says, well, it's not fair, but I'm going to forgive them anyway because I love you that much. And that's, again, the point of this Christmas, this unfair blessing that comes into the world and says, no matter who you are, no matter what you've done, no matter how unfair it might look, I can and will love and forgive you. That's an entirely unfair blessing for which I am thankful for myself, for all of you. Hope you hear that message this Christmas and are reminded of that incredibly unfair blessing offered to every single one of us. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here next week.